Hello and welcome to Readings in English. Here, we explore the wonderful world of the English language through engaging stories, valuable lessons, and exciting adventures. English is one of the most spoken languages in the world, and learning it can open doors to new opportunities, friendships, and cultural experiences. Whether you're a beginner or someone looking to improve your skills, this channel is the perfect place to dive into the language in a fun and accessible way. Today, I'm excited to share with you a story called The Seasons of the Year. This emotional narrative follows the journey of Clara, a young girl who discovers the power of friendship, creativity, and the lessons that each season brings. Through her adventures, Clara learns not only about the natural changes around her, but also about herself and her relationships with those she loves. Join me as we explore Clara's lessons and how they apply to all of us. Get ready to be inspired, reflect, and of course, enhance your English in a fun and engaging way. Let's begin our reading. In a small town nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, Clara lived with her family in a cozy, sunlit home. Clara was a curious 10-year-old with sparkling blue eyes and a head full of dreams. Her family consisted of her loving parents, her adventurous little brother, Joe, and their loyal dog, Max. The town was known for its beautiful seasons, each bringing a unique charm and a sense of renewal. As the seasons changed, Clara marveled at the transformation of the world around her. In spring, vibrant flowers burst into bloom, painting the landscape with colors that seemed to dance in the sunlight. Summer brought warm days filled with laughter and outdoor adventures, where Clara and Joe would race through the fields, their laughter echoing in the air. Autumn, with its crisp air and golden leaves, invited cozy evenings by the fireplace, while winter blanketed the town in soft, white snow, turning it into a magical wonderland. Clara loved the stories her grandmother would tell her about the significance of each season. Her grandmother had a special connection with nature, and Clara often found herself daydreaming about the adventures that awaited her as the seasons changed. Clara felt a sense of excitement and wonder at the thought of what each new season might bring, and she often wondered how she could capture those moments and make them her own. One sunny afternoon, while exploring the attic, Clara stumbled upon a dusty old box. Curiosity piqued. She opened it to find a collection of letters, photographs, and a beautifully decorated diary. The cover was adorned with flowers and intricate designs, instantly drawing her in. As she flipped through the pages, Clara recognized her grandmother's handwriting, filled with stories and memories of each season. The diary was filled with vivid descriptions of spring blooms, summer adventures, autumn harvests, and winter festivities. Clara felt a spark of inspiration ignite within her. Her grandmother had captured the essence of each season, and Clara realized that she wanted to create her own story, one that would honor her grandmother's legacy while also allowing her to explore her own experiences. With a determined heart, Clara decided to embark on a journey throughout the year, documenting her adventures and the lessons she learned from each season. She felt a deep connection to her grandmother, as if the diary was a bridge between their worlds. Clara made a promise to herself to fill her own journal with memories, just like her grandmother had done. As she carefully placed the diary back in the box, Clara's mind raced with ideas. She envisioned planting her own garden in the spring, celebrating festivals with friends, and discovering the beauty of nature through her own eyes. This was just the beginning of her journey, and she couldn't wait to see what the upcoming seasons would bring. As the first signs of spring began to emerge, Clara felt a surge of excitement. The snow melted away, revealing patches of green grass peeking through the earth. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and Clara knew it was the perfect time to start her garden. Inspired by her grandmother's diary, she decided to plant a variety of flowers that would attract butterflies and bees. Clara gathered her supplies, seeds, soil, and colorful pots. She invited Joe to join her, and together they created a small garden in their backyard. The soil was cool and soft beneath their fingers as they dug tiny holes and placed the seeds inside. Clara explained to Joe the importance of each flower and how they would thrive in the warm sun. As they worked, Clara couldn't help but share stories from her grandmother's diary. She spoke of the spring festivals her grandmother had attended, filled with laughter, music, and vibrant decorations. Joe listened intently, his imagination painting vivid pictures of the celebrations. Every day after school, Clara and Joe tended to their garden, watering the seeds and eagerly watching for signs of growth. They marked their progress with drawings in Clara's journal, using bright colors to represent each flower. The garden became a symbol of their shared adventure, a place where they could connect with nature and each other. One sunny afternoon, as they sat in their garden, Clara spotted a butterfly fluttering nearby. It landed gracefully on one of the tiny sprouts. Clara's heart swelled with joy. "Look, Joe. It's a sign that our garden is coming to life," she exclaimed. They both giggled, filled with the wonder of nature. As the days passed, Clara's garden blossomed, and so did her friendship with Joe. They celebrated their successes with picnics in the backyard, eating sandwiches and enjoying the beautiful weather. Clara felt a sense of fulfillment as she realized that each moment spent in the garden was a lesson in patience and growth. While Clara thrived in her garden, school presented its own set of challenges. As the spring semester progressed, Clara found herself struggling with her English assignments. She often felt overwhelmed by the pressure to excel, especially when her classmates seemed to grasp the material effortlessly. One day, after receiving a low grade on a writing assignment, Clara sat alone at lunch, her heart heavy with disappointment. She watched as her friends chatted and laughed, and she couldn't help but feel like an outsider. Joe noticed his sister's sadness and approached her, concerned. "Clara, what's wrong?" he asked, his voice filled with empathy. "I just wish I could write as well as everyone else. I feel like I'm falling behind," Clara admitted, her eyes downcast. Joe thought for a moment and then said, "Maybe you can use your garden stories for your next assignment. They're special and unique, just like you." Clara's face lit up at the suggestion. "That's a great idea, Joe. I can write about the flowers and what they mean to me. It will be like sharing my journey." With renewed determination, Clara set to work. She spent the evening writing about her experiences in the garden, weaving in the lessons she learned from her grandmother's diary. As she wrote, Clara felt a sense of liberation. The words flowed effortlessly, and she realized that her garden was not just a project. It was a source of inspiration and creativity. The next day, Clara handed in her assignment with a sense of pride. She had poured her heart into the story, and she felt confident that her teacher would appreciate her unique perspective. As she sat in class, waiting for feedback, Clara's mind buzzed with excitement about the upcoming spring festival her school was planning. The day of the spring festival arrived, bringing with it a sense of anticipation that buzzed in the air like the sound of cheerful laughter. Clara woke up early, excitement bubbling inside her as she helped her parents prepare the decorations. They strung colorful banners and hung paper lanterns that swayed gently in the morning breeze. The entire town gathered in the park, transforming it into a vibrant celebration of spring. Clara had volunteered to help with the flower booth, where she would sell small pots of the flowers she had grown in her garden. Her heart raced at the thought of sharing her hard work with the community. As the festival began, Clara and Joe set up their booth, arranging the pots with care, making sure each flower was displayed beautifully. As families arrived, Clara's nervousness began to fade. She greeted each visitor with a bright smile, sharing stories about the flowers and their meanings. "These are marigolds. They represent happiness and warmth," she exclaimed, pointing to the bright orange blooms. Clara's enthusiasm was infectious, and soon people were flocking to their booth, drawn in by her passion. Throughout the day, Clara interacted with various townsfolk, listening to their stories and sharing her own. She felt a sense of belonging and connection that filled her heart with joy. The festival was a celebration of not just spring, but also of community and friendship. As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the park, Clara took a moment to look around. The laughter of children filled the air, and the sounds of musicians playing cheerful tunes created an atmosphere of pure happiness. Clara realized that this festival was more than just an event. It was a beautiful reminder of the bonds that tied everyone together. Later that evening, Clara joined her family and friends for the grand finale, a dance under the stars. Clara twirled around, feeling free and alive, her worries forgotten in the magic of the moment. She glanced at Joe, who was laughing with their friends, and she felt immense gratitude for the day they had shared. With the arrival of summer, Clara's world transformed once again. The days grew longer, and the sun shone brightly, inviting everyone outdoors. Clara and Joe spent their afternoons exploring the woods behind their home, discovering hidden paths and secret spots where wildflowers bloomed in abundance. One sunny afternoon, while wandering near the riverbank, Clara met a new girl named Sophia. She had just moved to town and was shyly observing the beauty of the surroundings. Clara, always eager to make new friends, approached her with a warm smile. "Hi, I'm Clara. Do you want to explore with us?" Sophia's face lit up with gratitude as she nodded. Clara introduced her to Joe, and the three of them set off on an adventure. They climbed trees, played by the river, and caught glimpses of colorful butterflies flitting between the flowers. Clara felt an instant connection with Sophia, who shared her love for nature and storytelling. As the summer days passed, Clara and Sophia became inseparable. They spent hours in Clara's garden, writing stories inspired by their adventures and creating a scrapbook filled with pressed flowers and drawings. Clara found joy in sharing her experiences with Sophia, and their laughter echoed through the garden as they crafted tales of magical creatures and exciting escapades. One day, while sitting in the shade of the old oak tree in Clara's backyard, Sophia shared a secret. "I've always wanted to write a book about my summer adventures. I just don't know where to start," she confessed, her eyes filled with hope. Clara's heart swelled with encouragement. "Let's write it together. We can combine our stories and create something amazing." They spent the afternoon brainstorming ideas, and Clara felt inspired as they mapped out their characters and settings. As the summer continued, the friendship between Clara and Sophia blossomed, each day filled with new experiences and discoveries. They learned to embrace their differences, supporting each other's dreams and aspirations. Clara realized that summer was not just about the warm weather. It was about the connections they forged and the joy of shared adventures. As the days of summer passed, Clara and Joe's bond was tested. One afternoon, while they were playing outside, Clara noticed that Joe seemed distant. He had been spending more time with his friends, and Clara couldn't shake the feeling of being left out. After a few days of feeling ignored, Clara decided to confront him. "Joe, why don't you want to hang out with me anymore?" Clara asked, her voice tinged with hurt. Joe sighed, looking down at the ground. "It's not that I don't want to, Clara. I just think you're more interested in your new friend Sophia now. You never want to do the things we used to do together." Clara was taken aback. "That's not true. I love spending time with you, but I also enjoy having Sophia around. Can't we all be friends?" Joe crossed his arms, frustration bubbling beneath the surface. "But it feels like you don't care about our adventures anymore. It's like you've forgotten about our time together." The words stung, and Clara felt a mix of sadness and anger. "I haven't forgotten. We can still have fun together. We can invite Sophia to join us," Clara suggested, hoping to bridge the gap between them. Joe frowned, clearly unconvinced. "I don't know, Clara. I just feel like everything is changing and I don't like it." Clara watched as Joe walked away, feeling a knot of worry tighten in her stomach. She realized that change was hard for him, just as it had been for her when they had started school. Clara felt a pang of guilt wash over her. She didn't want to hurt her brother, but she also didn't want to lose her friendship with Sophia. That evening, Clara sat under the stars, reflecting on her day. She opened her grandmother's diary, searching for wisdom. As she read the stories about her grandmother's childhood, she found comfort in her words. "Friendship is about sharing and understanding," one passage read. When faced with challenges, always remember to communicate openly. Inspired, Clara decided she would talk to Joe again. She wanted to show him that their bond was still strong, despite the changes in their lives. The next day, Clara invited Joe to join her and Sophia for a picnic by the river. She hoped this would help them reconnect. Clara prepared sandwiches and packed their favorite snacks, her heart racing with anticipation. When Joe arrived, Clara greeted him with a warm smile. "I made your favorite sandwiches. We're having a picnic by the river today. Want to join us?" Joe hesitated but eventually nodded. "Okay, I'll come." As they walked to the river, Clara felt a sense of relief. She could see that Joe was trying, and she was determined to make this a fun day for everyone. When they reached the riverbank, Sophia was already setting up the picnic blanket. "Hey, Joe, come help me with the snacks," Sophia called out cheerfully. Clara watched as Joe's face lit up. It was a small victory, but it felt significant. The three of them spread out the blanket and enjoyed a delicious picnic, sharing stories and laughing together. Clara felt the tension between her and Joe begin to dissolve as they reminisced about their favorite memories. After they finished eating, Clara suggested they play a game of catch. "Let's see who can throw the ball the farthest," she exclaimed, her competitive spirit shining through. Joe laughed, his earlier mood forgotten. They divided into teams, with Clara and Sophia against Joe. As they played, Clara noticed how much fun Joe was having. The laughter filled the air, and the sound of their joy echoed off the riverbank. Clara felt grateful for this moment. Their bond was strengthening, and the warmth of friendship surrounded them. Later, as they took a break, Clara turned to Joe, her voice sincere. "I'm really glad you came today. I want us to always be able to share our adventures, even with new friends. You're still my best friend, no matter what." Joe smiled, and Clara could see the understanding in his eyes. "I guess I just need to get used to the changes, Clara." "I'm sorry for being upset." Clara hugged him tightly, feeling the familiar warmth of their sibling bond. "It's okay, Joe. We can navigate these changes together." As summer rolled in, the warm sun painted everything in shades of gold. Clara and Joe continued their adventures, embracing the long, lazy days filled with exploration and laughter. The garden they had planted together flourished, bursting with colors and attracting butterflies that danced around the blossoms. Clara found joy in watching the garden grow, a reflection of their own friendship. One bright morning, Clara decided it was the perfect day for a nature hike. "Let's explore the forest behind our house. We can discover new trails and see what wildlife we can find," she suggested, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Joe was quick to agree. "That sounds awesome, Clara. Let's bring Max along too." Their loyal dog wagged his tail, sensing the adventure ahead. With backpacks filled with snacks and water, the trio set off into the forest. The sunlight filtered through the leaves, creating a dappled pattern on the forest floor. As they walked, Clara pointed out various plants and flowers, sharing what she had learned from her grandmother's diary. "Did you know that this flower is called a wildflower? They grow freely in nature and symbolize freedom," Clara explained, kneeling to examine a cluster of delicate blooms. Joe listened intently, impressed by Clara's enthusiasm. "You're becoming a nature expert," he teased, but Clara could see the pride in his eyes. As they ventured deeper into the woods, Clara spotted a small stream. "Look." "Let's take a break here," she suggested, leading them to the water's edge. They sat on the rocks, dipping their feet into the cool water, laughter echoing as Max splashed around playfully. After their refreshing break, Clara proposed a game of I Spy to keep the fun going. "I spy with my little eye something green," she exclaimed. Joe grinned, searching the surroundings until he spotted a vibrant green moss covering a rock. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the forest, Clara felt a sense of peace wash over her. It was moments like these that reminded her of the beauty of nature and the importance of family. They made their way back home, tired but happy, with Max trotting beside them. One sunny afternoon, while Clara and Joe were playing in their backyard, a new family moved in next door. Clara noticed a girl around her age unpacking boxes and felt a spark of curiosity. I wonder if she wants to play with us, Clara said, excitement bubbling inside her. Joe shrugged. Why don't you go introduce yourself? He encouraged, sensing Clara's eagerness. Taking a deep breath, Clara walked up to the fence that separated their yards. Hi there, I'm Clara. What's your name? She called out, waving enthusiastically. The girl looked up, her eyes brightening. Hi, I'm Sophia. I just moved here from another town, she replied with a friendly smile. Clara's heart raced. That's awesome. Do you want to come over and play? She asked, hoping to make a new friend. Sophia nodded eagerly. Yeah, I'd love to. With that, she climbed over the fence, and the two girls quickly bonded over their shared interests in nature and adventure. Joe joined them, and they all decided to explore the nearby woods together. Clara felt a wave of happiness as they ventured into the forest, their laughter mingling with the sounds of nature. They discovered new trails, collected interesting leaves, and even spotted a family of deer in the distance. As they walked, Clara introduced Sophia to the wonders of the forest, sharing stories about the different plants and animals they encountered. This is my favorite tree. It's called an oak, and it's really strong, Clara explained, pointing to a majestic oak tree. Sophia was fascinated, her eyes wide with wonder. You know so much about nature? I can't wait to learn more, she said, genuinely impressed. The three of them spent the afternoon exploring, creating memories that would last a lifetime. Clara felt grateful for this new friendship, realizing how important it was to embrace change and welcome new experiences. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the horizon, the trio made their way back home, their hearts filled with joy. Clara knew that summer was just beginning, and with it came new adventures, friendships, and lessons waiting to be discovered. As the summer days grew warmer, Clara, Joe, and Sophia decided to spend a day at the local lake. The sparkling water beckoned them, and Clara was eager to dive into new adventures with her friends. Let's pack a picnic and make a day of it, she suggested, her excitement contagious. They gathered sandwiches, fruit, and lemonade, packing everything into a colorful basket. Max, their faithful dog, wagged his tail in anticipation, ready to join the fun. Clara's heart swelled with joy as they set off toward the lake, the sun shining brightly overhead. When they arrived, Clara gasped at the beauty of the scene before her. The lake was surrounded by tall trees, their leaves shimmering in the sunlight. Laughter and splashes filled the air as families enjoyed the water. Clara spread out a blanket on the grass, and they settled down for their picnic. After enjoying their lunch, the trio decided to swim. Clara felt a thrill of excitement as they ran to the water's edge, splashing in with joyous laughter. The cool water enveloped them, and they swam, played games, and even tried to catch Max as he joyfully splashed around. Let's have a race to the floating dock," Clara called out, her competitive spirit ignited. They lined up, and with a shout, they took off, kicking their legs and propelling themselves through the water. Clara felt the exhilaration of the sun on her face and the joy of being with her friends. After their race, they climbed onto the dock, lying on their backs to soak up the sun. Clara looked up at the sky, watching fluffy clouds drift by. "This is the best summer ever," she said, her heart full. Sophia and Joe nodded in agreement, sharing smiles that spoke of their growing friendship. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, the trio packed their things, feeling content and happy. Clara realized that this day was not just about swimming and picnics. It was about the bonds they were creating that would last a lifetime. As summer faded into autumn, Clara felt a sense of nostalgia wash over her. The days grew shorter and the air turned crisp. Leaves transformed into vibrant hues of red, orange, and yellow, creating a beautiful tapestry in the trees. Clara loved this time of year as it brought a new sense of adventure. One afternoon, Clara, Joe, and Sophia gathered in Clara's backyard to prepare for the upcoming autumn festival. "We should make decorations using the leaves we collect," Sophia suggested, her eyes sparkling with creativity. Clara agreed, excited about the idea. "Let's go for a walk in the neighborhood and see what we can find." The three friends set off, collecting fallen leaves of all shapes and sizes. They giggled and shared stories about their favorite autumn memories, each leaf a reminder of the beauty of the season. As they returned to Clara's backyard, they spread the leaves on the ground, admiring their colors. "Let's make a giant collage," Joe proposed, his eyes shining with enthusiasm. They got to work, gluing the leaves onto a large piece of cardboard, creating a stunning autumn scene. While they crafted, Clara's mind wandered to the upcoming festival. "I can't wait for the festival. We can show everyone our decorations," she exclaimed, feeling a surge of excitement at the thought of sharing their hard work with the community. As the festival approached, Clara's family prepared traditional autumn dishes, filling the house with delicious aromas. Clara helped her mother bake pumpkin pies and cider, eager to contribute to the celebration. Each day felt like a countdown to the festival, and Clara's anticipation grew. On the day of the festival, Clara, Joe, and Sophia arrived at the park early, ready to set up their decorations. The park was bustling with activity, with families setting up booths and preparing for the festivities. Clara felt a rush of joy as she saw their collage displayed prominently, a testament to their creativity and hard work. As the sun set, the festival came alive with twinkling lights, laughter, and music. Clara, Joe, and Sophia danced together, feeling the warmth of friendship and the magic of autumn surrounding them. Clara realized that while the seasons changed, the bonds they created would remain strong no matter what. As autumn gave way to winter, Clara woke up one morning to find the world transformed. The first snowfall had blanketed the town in a soft, white layer, creating a magical scene outside her window. Clara's heart raced with excitement as she jumped out of bed, pulling on her warm clothes and racing downstairs. "Joe, look outside!" Clara shouted, unable to contain her joy. Joe quickly joined her, his eyes wide with wonder at the sight of the snow-covered landscape. "Can we go outside and play?" he pleaded, his cheeks flushed with excitement. After breakfast, the siblings bundled up in their winter gear, hats, gloves, and thick jackets and dashed outside. The air was crisp and cold, and Clara took a deep breath, feeling invigorated. They raced to the park where other children were already building snowmen and having snowball fights. "Let's make the biggest snowman ever," Clara exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with determination. They rolled large snowballs together, stacking them on top of each other. With each layer, their snowman grew taller, and they carefully shaped its features, adding a carrot for the nose and stones for the eyes. As they worked, Clara noticed Sophia approaching, bundled up in her winter attire. "Can I help?" she asked, her cheeks rosy from the cold. Clara welcomed her with open arms, grateful for her friend's enthusiasm. The three of them continued to build their snowman, laughing and sharing stories as they worked. Clara felt a warm rush of happiness as she realized how special it was to have both her brother and her friend by her side. Together, they created a beautiful snowman adorned with a scarf and a hat. After their snowman was complete, Clara suggested they have a snowball fight. "Last one to the big tree is a snowball target," she shouted, sprinting away. The three friends laughed and chased each other through the snow, their laughter ringing out in the cold air. As the afternoon faded into evening, Clara and her friends returned home, cheeks flushed and hearts full. Clara couldn't help but think about how winter brought them all together, creating memories that would last a lifetime. The Winter Festival was a highly anticipated event in the town, and Clara was buzzing with excitement. The streets were adorned with twinkling lights, and the smell of roasted chestnuts and cinnamon filled the air. Clara, Joe, and Sophia had been preparing for weeks, excited to showcase their talents and participate in the festivities. On the morning of the festival, Clara helped her mother bake cookies, carefully decorating each one with colorful icing and sprinkles. "These will be perfect for our booth," her mother said, smiling as Clara added the finishing touches. Once they arrived at the festival, Clara and her friends set up their booth, displaying their cookies alongside the beautiful collage they had created for the autumn festival. The park was bustling with families, laughter, and the sounds of holiday music. Clara felt a sense of pride as she looked around at all the joyful faces. Throughout the day, Clara, Joe, and Sophia sold cookies and shared stories about their winter traditions. Clara felt a warm glow in her heart as she connected with the community. Her grandmother's teachings echoed in her mind. She remembered how her grandmother always emphasized the importance of sharing and coming together during the holidays. As the sun began to set, casting a golden light over the festival, Clara heard the familiar sound of carolers singing nearby. She grabbed Joe and Sophia's hands, pulling them toward the music. They joined a crowd of townsfolk, singing along and feeling the joy of the season envelop them. Later that evening, the festival culminated in a spectacular display of fireworks. Clara stood with her friends, their eyes wide with wonder as the sky illuminated with vibrant colors. "This is the best winter festival ever," Clara exclaimed, her heart overflowing with happiness. As the final firework exploded in a shower of sparks, Clara took a moment to reflect on the year. Each season had brought its own challenges and joys, but through it all, she had learned the importance of friendship, family, and the beauty of nature. As the new year began, Clara found herself reflecting on everything that had happened over the past 12 months. The seasons had taught her valuable lessons, and she felt grateful for the memories she had created with her family and friends. Each season had brought its own set of challenges and joys, and Clara realized how much she had grown. One afternoon, Clara decided to sit down with her grandmother's diary. She flipped through the pages, reminiscing about the stories and traditions her grandmother had shared. Inspired, Clara grabbed her journal and began writing her own reflections. "This year, I learned that change can be hard, but it can also lead to beautiful new beginnings," she wrote, her pen gliding across the pages. As Clara wrote, she thought about her relationship with Joe. She decided to make a plan to strengthen their bond in the coming year. "We should have a special brother-sister day," she thought, determined to bring them closer together. Later, Clara approached Joe, who was playing video games in his room. "Hey, Joe. How about we have a day just for us? We can go hiking, have a picnic, and maybe even build another snowman," she suggested, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Joe paused his game and looked at her, a smile spreading across his face. "That sounds awesome, Clara." "I'd love that." Clara felt a rush of happiness at his response, excited about their upcoming adventure. In the following days, Clara planned every detail of their special day. She packed a backpack filled with snacks, hot chocolate, and even some art supplies for drawing. She wanted to capture their memories on paper, just as her grandmother had done. On the morning of their day together, Clara and Joe set off into the winter landscape, their breath visible in the chilly air. The sun shone brightly, reflecting off the freshly fallen snow. They hiked through the woods, laughing and sharing stories, feeling the warmth of their rekindled bond. As they reached a clearing, Clara suggested they build a snowman. "Let's make him even bigger than the last one," she exclaimed, her excitement contagious. They rolled snowballs together, their laughter echoing in the serene winter air. Once their snowman was complete, Clara pulled out her art supplies and began drawing the scene around them. "This is so beautiful," she said, glancing at the winter wonderland. Joe, inspired by her creativity, joined in, sketching their snowman and the trees surrounding them. As Clara and Joe sat together in the winter sun, creating their art, Clara felt a sense of happiness wash over her. "I'm so glad we did this, Joe." "It's nice to spend time together," she said, looking up from her drawing. Joe nodded, his eyes focused on his sketch. "Yeah, I miss this. It's fun to just be outside and create something together." They shared smiles, and Clara knew their bond was stronger than ever. After finishing their drawings, Clara suggested they head back home. "Let's warm up with some hot chocolate," she said, her eyes shining with excitement. Joe agreed, and they made their way back, reminiscing about their favorite moments from the past year. When they arrived home, Clara's mother greeted them with the smell of something delicious baking in the oven. "Welcome back. How was your day?" she asked, smiling at her children. "It was amazing, Mom. We built a giant snowman and even made some art," Clara replied, her voice filled with enthusiasm. Later that evening, Clara gathered her family in the living room. "I want to show you all my drawings from today," she said, proudly displaying her sketches. Clara's parents admired her work, and Joe shared his drawings too, feeling proud of their accomplishments. As they sat together, Clara felt a wave of gratitude for her family and friends. She realized that the lessons she had learned throughout the year were not just about seasons, but also about the importance of connection and creativity. Inspired by her experience, Clara decided to organize an art day for her friends. "Let's invite everyone over. We can paint and create together, just like we did today," she suggested to Joe. Joe's eyes lit up. "That sounds like a great idea. I'll help you set everything up." Together, they began planning their art day, excited to share their joy of creativity with others. As they prepared, Clara reflected on the journey of the past year. Each season had brought its own challenges and joys, but through it all, she had discovered the power of friendship, family, and the beauty of nature. She felt ready to embrace whatever the next year would bring. The day of Clara's art gathering arrived, and excitement buzzed in the air. Clara and Joe had spent the previous evening preparing, setting up a large table in the backyard filled with paints, brushes, and canvases. They decorated the area with colorful streamers and balloons, creating a cheerful atmosphere that welcomed their friends. As guests began to arrive, Clara greeted each one with a warm smile. Sophia was the first to arrive, her eyes lighting up at the sight of the art supplies. "This looks amazing, Clara. I can't wait to create," she exclaimed, quickly dashing over to the table. Clara felt a rush of happiness as she watched her friends gather around. The backyard was soon filled with laughter and chatter as everyone picked up brushes and started painting. Clara encouraged everyone to express their creativity freely. "Remember, there are no rules. Just paint what comes to your mind," she said, her excitement infectious. As they painted, Clara moved from friend to friend, admiring their work and sharing tips on techniques she had learned from her grandmother. Joe and Sophia worked side by side, laughing as they tried to create a mural of their favorite summer memories. Clara felt a sense of pride in bringing everyone together, recognizing the power of art to connect them. After a while, Clara suggested they take a break and enjoy the snacks they had prepared. "Let's have a picnic. I made cookies and sandwiches for everyone," she announced, and the group cheered in agreement. They all settled down on the grass, sharing stories and enjoying the food. Clara listened as her friends talked about their favorite moments from the past year, and she felt grateful to be surrounded by such wonderful people. The warmth of friendship filled her heart, reminding her of the lessons she had learned about connection and creativity. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the backyard, Clara proposed a group project. "How about we create a giant mural together? We can paint something that represents our friendship," she suggested, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. The group agreed, and they gathered around a large canvas. Each person contributed their own unique touch, adding colors and shapes that reflected their personalities. Clara felt a sense of unity as they painted together, their laughter echoing in the evening air. As the final strokes were added to the mural, Clara stepped back to admire their work. The canvas was a vibrant explosion of colors and shapes, each representing a different story and memory. It depicted their friendship, sunshine, flowers, and even a big snowman capturing the essence of each season they had experienced together. "Wow, we did an amazing job," Sophia exclaimed, her eyes wide with awe. Clara beamed with pride, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. They had not only created a beautiful piece of art, but had also strengthened their bond through the experience. "Let's unveil it tomorrow at the park," Joe suggested, his excitement palpable. The group agreed, and they began discussing how they would showcase their mural to the rest of the town. The next day, Clara and her friends arrived at the park early to set up for the unveiling. They hung the mural on a wooden easel, eager to share their creation with everyone. Clara felt butterflies in her stomach as she thought about how the town would react. As the townsfolk began to gather, Clara's heart raced. She stood beside her friends, feeling a mix of nervousness and excitement. When the time came, Clara stepped forward, her voice shaking slightly. "Thank you all for coming. We want to share something special with you today." With a dramatic flourish, Clara pulled the cloth away, revealing the mural. Gasps of surprise filled the air, followed by applause. Clara's heart swelled with joy as she watched the smiles spread across the faces of her family and friends. "This mural represents our friendship and the adventures we've had throughout the year," Clara explained. "Each color and shape tells a story about the seasons we've experienced together." As Clara spoke, she noticed her grandmother watching from the crowd, her eyes shining with pride. Clara felt a rush of warmth, knowing that her grandmother's legacy of creativity and connection lived on through her. The townsfolk approached the mural, admiring the details and sharing their interpretations. Clara felt a sense of fulfillment as she listened to the compliments and shared stories about how they had all been touched by the changing seasons. As the day went on, Clara realized that this moment was a celebration not just of art but of friendship, love, and the beauty of life's seasons. She felt grateful for the lessons she had learned and the memories she had created, knowing that they would carry her forward into the future. As winter settled in once again, Clara felt a sense of nostalgia for the vibrant days of summer and the warmth of friendship. However, the new year brought with it a challenge that Clara had not anticipated. The local school announced a winter talent show, and Clara's classmates were buzzing with excitement about showcasing their skills. Clara wanted to participate, but felt a wave of anxiety wash over her. What if I make a mistake? She thought, worrying about performing in front of so many people. She had always admired her friends who could sing, dance, or perform magic tricks, but she wasn't sure what her talent was. One evening, Clara sat in her room, staring at her art supplies. Suddenly, an idea struck her. What if I create a piece of art during the talent show? I could paint live and show everyone how creativity can come alive. Her heart raced at the thought, and she quickly grabbed her journal, jotting down her plan. With newfound determination, Clara shared her idea with Joe and Sophia. I want to do a live painting at the talent show. It will be a celebration of our friendship and the seasons we've experienced together, she explained, her excitement bubbling over. Joe's eyes lit up. That sounds incredible, Clara. I'll help you with the setup, he offered, eager to support his sister. Sophia nodded enthusiastically. And I can help you choose the colors and themes for your painting. As the days passed, Clara worked tirelessly on her artwork, pouring her heart into the canvas. She practiced painting in front of her family, gaining confidence with each stroke. Clara's friends cheered her on, reminding her to embrace her creativity and not be afraid of mistakes. The night of the talent show arrived, and Clara stood backstage, her heart pounding. She could hear the applause and laughter from the audience, and her nerves threatened to overwhelm her. Just then, she felt a reassuring hand on her shoulder. It was Joe. "You've got this, Clara. Just remember to have fun," he said, his voice steady and supportive. Taking a deep breath, Clara stepped onto the stage, her heart racing but her spirit soaring. The spotlight illuminated her canvas, and she felt a rush of adrenaline as she began to paint. With each brushstroke, Clara poured her emotions onto the canvas, creating a vibrant representation of the seasons they had shared. As Clara painted, she felt the audience's energy surrounding her. The colors blended together, creating a beautiful scene that depicted the joy of friendship and the beauty of nature through the changing seasons. Clara lost herself in the moment, forgetting about her fears and embracing the creative flow. People in the audience began to clap along with the rhythm of her brushstrokes, and Clara felt a sense of connection with them. She glanced at Joe and Sophia, who were cheering her on from the front row, their smiles encouraging her to keep going. With each stroke, Clara incorporated elements from the mural they had created together. The sunflowers representing summer, the falling leaves symbolizing autumn, and the snowflakes that danced across the canvas were all a part of her story. Clara felt a swell of pride as she realized that her journey had come full circle. As she finished her painting, the audience erupted into applause. Clara turned to face them, her heart racing with excitement and disbelief. The canvas was a stunning representation of their shared experiences, and she felt grateful for the opportunity to express herself in such a meaningful way. After the performance, Clara was surrounded by her friends and family, all praising her talent and creativity. "You were amazing, Clara. I didn't know you could create something so beautiful so quickly," Sophia exclaimed, her eyes shining with admiration. Clara beamed with joy, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over her. "Thank you. I couldn't have done it without your support," she replied, her heart full of gratitude. The experience had not only bolstered her confidence, but had also deepened her connections with her friends and family. As the talent show concluded, Clara realized that the journey through the seasons had prepared her for this moment. Each experience, each challenge, and each joy had shaped her into the person she was becoming. She felt a renewed sense of purpose and excitement for the future. With the warmth of friendship surrounding her, Clara knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, she would face them with creativity, courage, and the unwavering support of those she loved. The seasons would continue to change, but the bonds they had forged would remain strong and unbreakable. As the winter days began to shorten, Clara felt the unmistakable shift in the air. The world around her was preparing for the transition into spring, and with it came the realization that change was an inevitable part of life. Clara embraced this change, reflecting on how each season had shaped her, not only as an artist, but also as a friend and sister. With the talent show behind her, Clara felt confident and inspired. She decided to create a new series of paintings, each representing a lesson she had learned throughout the year. She envisioned a collection that would capture the essence of friendship, growth, and the beauty of each season. In the following weeks, Clara immersed herself in her artwork. She spent hours in the backyard, painting under the warm sun, and her canvases began to fill with vibrant colors and meaningful imagery. Each brushstroke was a reflection of her experiences, and she felt a deep sense of fulfillment as she worked. One afternoon, while painting a scene depicting the joy of summer, Clara heard a knock at the door. It was Joe, holding a small box. "I have something for you, Clara," he said, his eyes sparkling with excitement. Curious, Clara opened the box to find a set of new paintbrushes and a sketchbook. "Wow, Joe! These are amazing. Thank you so much," Clara exclaimed, her heart swelling with gratitude. Joe smiled proudly, happy to support his sister's passion. "Now you can create even more beautiful art. I can't wait to see what you come up with," he said, his encouragement fueling Clara's creative spirit. With her new supplies in hand, Clara felt a renewed sense of inspiration. Each painting she created told a story, weaving together the lessons she had learned from her friends, family, and the changing seasons. She realized that change was not something to fear. It was an opportunity for growth and exploration. As the first signs of spring began to emerge, Clara felt a sense of renewal in her heart. The days grew longer, and the world around her awakened from its winter slumber. The flowers began to bloom, and Clara's garden was once again filled with vibrant colors. She took this time to reflect on everything that had transpired over the past year. Clara decided to host a spring gathering for her friends and family to celebrate the changing season and share her new artwork. She wanted to showcase how much she had learned and how important each person in her life had been in shaping her journey. As Clara planned the event, she invited everyone to bring their own creative contributions. "Let's celebrate spring together. Bring your art, music, or any talents you want to share," she wrote in the invitations, her excitement palpable. On the day of the gathering, Clara's backyard transformed into a colorful haven. She set up her paintings around the garden, creating an outdoor gallery that showcased her journey through the seasons. Friends arrived with their own creations. Sophia brought her guitar, and Joe prepared a surprise magic show. As the sun shone brightly, everyone gathered to enjoy the festivities. Clara felt a sense of belonging as she watched her friends interact, sharing laughter and stories. The atmosphere was filled with joy and creativity, a beautiful reflection of the bonds they had formed. After everyone had a chance to share their talents, Clara stepped forward. "Thank you all for being here today. I want to share something special with you," she said, her voice filled with emotion. She unveiled her latest painting, a vibrant depiction of all 4 seasons, intertwined with images of her friends and family. "This painting represents everything I've learned this year. Each season has taught me something important, and I couldn't have done it without all of you," Clara said, her heart full as she looked at the faces of those she loved. Tears of happiness filled Sophia's eyes as she hugged Clara tightly. "You've grown so much, Clara. Your art is beautiful, just like you," she said, her voice filled with warmth. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the gathering, Clara realized that the true beauty of life lay in the connections they shared. Each season brought its own lessons, but it was the love and support of her friends and family that made those lessons meaningful. The celebration continued into the evening, filled with music, laughter, and the promise of new adventures. Clara felt grateful for the journey she had taken and excited for what lay ahead. With the arrival of spring, she knew that change was not just an ending, but a beautiful beginning. As spring fully blossomed, Clara felt a wave of excitement wash over her. The world was alive with colors and sounds, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers. Inspired by the energy of the season, Clara decided to organize a weekend camping trip with her friends. She envisioned a weekend filled with adventure, laughter, and a chance to connect with nature. Clara shared her idea with Joe and Sophia, who were instantly enthusiastic. "That sounds amazing. We can explore the woods, have a bonfire, and tell stories under the stars," Joe exclaimed, his eyes shining with excitement. Clara spent the next few days planning the trip, gathering supplies, and packing their bags. She felt a sense of purpose, knowing that this adventure would bring them closer together. Finally, the weekend arrived and they set off to the nearby campsite, ready for a memorable experience. Upon arriving, Clara and her friends were greeted by the breathtaking beauty of the forest. Towering trees surrounded them, and the sound of birds chirping filled the air. They quickly set up their tents and gathered firewood for the evening bonfire. As the sun began to set, Clara lit the fire, and they all gathered around, feeling the warmth of the flames. The sky transitioned to a deep blue, sprinkled with stars that twinkled like diamonds. Clara felt a sense of wonder as she looked up, realizing how small they were in the grand scheme of the universe. "Let's share stories," Sophia suggested, her voice filled with enthusiasm. Clara and Joe took turns sharing their favorite memories from the past year, funny moments, lessons learned, and dreams for the future. The laughter echoed through the woods, creating a sense of camaraderie that warmed Clara's heart. After a night filled with stories and laughter, the group gradually settled into their tents, exhausted but happy. Clara lay in her sleeping bag, listening to the soothing sounds of nature, feeling grateful for the friendships that had blossomed in her life. The next morning, Clara woke up to the sound of birds singing and sunlight streaming through the trees. Excited to start the day, she quickly got dressed and joined Joe and Sophia outside. "Let's go for a hike," she suggested, her energy contagious. The trio set off on a trail that wound through the forest, marveling at the vibrant flowers and the sounds of rustling leaves. Clara felt her heart soar as they explored the beauty of nature, each step unfolding new discoveries. As they climbed higher, Clara noticed a steep hill ahead. "Let's see what's at the top," she exclaimed, her adventurous spirit ignited. Joe and Sophia agreed, and they began the ascent, laughing and encouraging each other along the way. When they finally reached the top, the view took their breath away. The landscape stretched out before them, a patchwork of green trees and colorful wildflowers. Clara felt a surge of accomplishment as she took in the beauty around her. "We did it!" she cheered, feeling proud of their teamwork. However, as they began to descend, Clara miscalculated her footing and slipped on the loose gravel. In an instant, she tumbled down the hill, landing with a thud at the bottom. Panic surged through her as she realized she had twisted her ankle. "Clara!" Joe and Sophia rushed to her side, concern etched on their faces. "Are you okay?" Sophia asked, kneeling beside her. Clara winced but managed a shaky smile. "I think I twisted my ankle. It hurts, but I'll be fine," she said, trying to reassure her friends. Joe frowned, clearly worried. "We need to get you back to the campsite and rest." "Let's help you up," he said, wrapping an arm around Clara's shoulder for support. As they made their way back, Clara felt a mix of frustration and gratitude. She had always been the adventurous one, and now she was relying on her friends for help. But in that moment, she realized that true friendship was about supporting each other, especially during difficult times. Back at the campsite, Clara settled into her tent with her ankle elevated. Joe and Sophia took turns fetching her snacks and keeping her company. Clara felt a wave of love wash over her as she watched her friends work together to take care of her. "Thank you for being here for me," Clara said, her voice filled with emotion. "I guess this is a lesson in accepting help when I need it." Sophia smiled warmly. "We're a team, Clara. That's what friends are for," she replied, her kindness reassuring Clara. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the campsite, Clara felt grateful for the experiences they had shared. Even though the day hadn't gone as planned, it had reinforced the importance of friendship, resilience, and the beauty of being there for one another. As the days turned into weeks, Clara's ankle slowly healed, and she found herself reflecting on the lessons learned during the camping trip. The experience had deepened her appreciation for her friends and the bonds they shared. With her ankle improving, Clara was eager to get back to her adventures. One sunny afternoon, Clara gathered Joe and Sophia in her backyard. "I've been thinking we should plan another adventure, but this time, something different," she suggested, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "Let's create an art project together that represents our friendship and everything we've learned over the past year." Joe and Sophia loved the idea and quickly jumped in to help. They brainstormed what their project would look like, deciding to create a mural that depicted the 4 seasons and the memories they had made together. Clara felt a rush of creativity as they discussed colors and designs, eager to capture their journey through art. Over the next few days, they collected materials and prepared their mural space. Clara shared her sketches, and they all contributed ideas. As they painted, Clara felt a sense of unity and joy. Each stroke of the brush was a celebration of their friendship and the lessons they had learned through each season. As they worked on the mural, Clara shared stories from her grandmother's diary, reminding them of the importance of embracing change and cherishing memories. "Every season brings its own beauty, just like our friendship," Clara said, her heart full of gratitude. Finally, the mural was complete. It was a vibrant representation of their journey, filled with colors and images that reflected their adventures together. Clara stepped back to admire their work, feeling a swell of pride and happiness. As spring transitioned into summer, Clara and her friends decided to host a small celebration to unveil their mural. They invited family and friends, excited to share their creation and the stories behind it. Clara felt a mix of nerves and excitement as the day approached. On the day of the celebration, the sun shone brightly, and Clara's backyard was filled with laughter and chatter. Guests arrived, marveling at the mural that adorned the fence. Clara felt a sense of joy as she watched people appreciate their hard work and creativity. "Welcome, everyone," Clara called out, her voice filled with enthusiasm. "We're so excited to share our mural with you today." Each season represents a special part of our journey together, and we hope it inspires you as much as it inspired us. As guests admired the mural, Clara and her friends shared stories about their adventures, the spring festival, the summer camping trip, and the lessons learned during the winter. Clara felt a warmth in her heart as she realized how far they had come, both as individuals and as friends. After sharing stories, Clara suggested they play some games, bringing everyone together for fun and laughter. They organized a scavenger hunt in the backyard, where guests searched for items related to each season. The atmosphere was filled with excitement as groups raced around, searching for clues. As the day transitioned into evening, Clara gathered everyone around the mural for a special toast. To friendship, creativity, and the memories we've created together, she said, raising her glass. Everyone cheered and joined her in the toast, feeling the bonds that connected them. Under the twinkling stars, Clara felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. The mural was not just a piece of art. It was a symbol of their friendship, growth, and the beauty of life's changing seasons. Clara knew that no matter where life took them, they would always cherish the memories they had made together. As the night came to a close, Clara looked around at her friends and family, her heart brimming with gratitude. She realized that every season brought new adventures and opportunities for growth, but it was the love and support of her friends that made each moment truly special. With a smile on her face, Clara felt ready to embrace whatever the next season would bring, knowing she had the strength of friendship by her side.